Good morning. This is an unusual start for us on Rome Sip and Eat. We are currently at Beach Club Villas, waiting to depart for the Brightline in Orlando and heading down to Fort Lauderdale for our first ever transatlantic cruise.
So we're cruising on the Disney Dream, and it's a 14-night cruise from Fort Lauderdale, as we just said, across to Barcelona in Spain. We're going to be stopping in the Azores and then 3 ports in Spain before reaching Barcelona, so Cadiz, Malaga and Cartagena. So we're catching the Brightline today, our first time. We're about to book a lift to the airport. At the moment it looks like it's about $40 for a standard one and $50 for an XL, but we'll see how much it is in about sort of 10-15 minutes when we actually press that button. So we're waiting outside Beach Club for the lift to the airport. $47, which is about £35. And that was for a Lyft XL because we like to have a little bit of extra space when we've got all the bags. Okay, that was a smooth drive, about 30 minutes, and we've just been dropped off outside. So we're going to find our way in to the Brightline area. First step, I guess, will be to check our cases, I think, and then through security. It's a good sign, it says Brightline, so I think we'll use the lifts though. Okay, so that's level 1 up to level 5. And then we see if we can find some more. There's a sign. So it's this way.
We've got premium tickets, which we booked about 8 months in advance for $89 per person. That gives us 1 free checked bag each.
And there is the Brightline area, so gonna head in there, stop filming for a little bit while we get stuff sorted, and we'll see you inside. Okay, so we're into the departures area. That's the premium lounge which we're going to have access to, but we'll have a look around the rest of it first. So we've got a little market area here, and then at the back there I can see something that says Mary Mary. I think that's the bar. Yeah, it's quite busy in here, quite a lot of people sitting around. They do some food in the market area. So if we look back, that's where we came through. And, oh, here's one of the ways down to the track. I wonder if that's our train. We're on the 115, so we're on the 3rd train. So a little bit of a wait still. What else have we got? Yeah, so there's definitely food over here in the market area. So I can see some bags of snacks and there's some cold drinks and stuff and plenty of merch. There's always merchandise. It's pretty busy in here. So here's a picture of our coffee rather than all the people around. But we're in the premium lounge. The coffee machine wasn't actually working when we first got in here. But we were given the tip that if we went out to the bar and explained that to them, they'd do us a couple of coffees there. So we actually have a couple of handcrafted coffees, 1 Americano, which we will fix the milk problem for in a second, and 1 latte. Now that we're back in, they've actually fixed the actual coffee machine in here, but it's all worked out okay. Just a little tricky to get back through the barrier carrying the 2 coffees. But yeah, pretty much all the seats have gone in here now. People are sharing tables and stuff, so very busy.
It was pretty busy in the lounge to really film properly, but here's a look at the complimentary food and drinks that were available.
Now that the 2 earlier trains have departed, it's emptied out a lot.
We're just waiting to board.
We've made it down the escalator and onto the train. Initial impressions of the seats are that they're nice and comfy.
Please have your tickets at the ready, as our lane attendant will be double checking. Thank you.
We took a screenshot of the menu online in advance so that we could figure out what we wanted.
Come from like a local team, so just one.
So now that we're safely ensconced on the train, what did you think about the lounge?
I think it's a tidy lounge, a little small, and I think when they have problems with train delays it can get a little bit busy, which is what we found, because there was a train that was delayed by about 40 minutes, 4 hours, and it became quite crowded. We were fortunate to get a seat, that was nice, and plenty of staff, always sort of on top of things. The coffee machine wasn't working when we got in there, but it was soon fixed. They were refilling or changing barrels on the beer and wine. Plenty of food being restocked. Seats were comfy, so overall quite a positive experience. And I think if it was just a normal timetable, it would have been absolutely fine.
And then I guess in terms of the station experience in its entirety, it was really easy to check our bags. It was really strange checking our bags at a train station, but that was a very simple process, and they gave us sort of tags in the same way as they do at an airport. Security, very straightforward, bags for an X-ray scanner, and then I think we walked through a metal detector. We walked through something, I'm not quite sure. It was very crowded in the areas that weren't the lounge, because it was quite a small station compared to the number of people that were in there for 3 trains departing in quick succession, but because we had the lounge, that was all good. Okay, so our pre-planning hasn't worked. That's not a niçoise salad. It does look very tasty though, and peanut butter M&Ms. Well, peanut M&Ms. Yep, we'll be saving those for later, I think. Couple of plastic cups of Prosecco after lunch, can't complain. And we're wrapping up the journey with some water. Nearly there now.
Made it to Fort Lauderdale, and we can see the staff rolling our bags to the collection point now.
Okay, so it's the next day. We've arrived safely into Fort Lauderdale. What did you think of the Brightline?
I think overall quite impressed. It was a little bit hurried at the stops, because they were obviously trying to get bags and people off and on in what they were saying was a short period of time. It was a few minutes, sometimes it was a bit longer, so but I think overall it worked well. The seats were comfy. It was a very smooth journey, not very quick, but covered that distance nicely. Service was good.
Yeah, Matt provided the service on the way down from Fort Lauderdale down to, not from Fort Lauderdale, sorry, from Orlando down to West Palm Beach. He was very good.
Yeah, he got off and got exchanged with the later guy. I can't remember the name.
No, we weren't on with him for long.
No. But then they did it seemed like they reset the allowance of drinks and food and things, because they started again at West Palm Beach. So we could have had another couple of drinks if we wanted.
I guess the main thing though is we felt really, really lucky because we checked our bags, and when we went to collect them in Fort Lauderdale, bags came off the train. There was about 6 people waiting for bags. 5 bags appeared, 2 of which were ours, all good, but both of the other couples didn't have all of their luggage. Suspicion was that it was headed on to Miami and hadn't been taken off the train. Not sure how that got resolved because we left to get our Uber.
Yeah, a bit of a nightmare, unfortunately. I mean, again, it was pretty quick in Fort Lauderdale. Bags were just ejected with a couple of guys. I guess they loaded stuff on as well, and the train was off and gone very quickly.
Yeah, but for us, outside, found the rideshare area. Uber came really quickly,
Yeah.
and it was about $30 to get to the hotel.
Yeah,
So-
very, very sticky journey, a lot of traffic at that time of day, which I think was 4:30, 4:45 in the afternoon on a Friday. So I guess it's, everyone's heading for the weekend somewhere.